Howdy, and welcome to the first snapshot of Project DH. For a while, even before development, I wanted to make true devlogs that serve as progress reports for content and archival purposes. This entry is covering 3 months of collective dev time, so let's stop wasting time on introductions and dive in! Out the gate we have controller support. The game feels nicer this way, though you can play with just the keyboard or alongside a mouse. For added convenience, we have coyote time and buffered inputs for jumping. This won't be mandatory, but it should make tandem platforming be easier for the player. Follower logic is quite simple and doesn't involve any weird pathfinding quirks. The follower moves when they're too far from the player. They'll try to follow you even if they get snagged on something, and if they get too far, they'll separate and wait where they got lost. We can switch control between players, swapping leaders and followers. This also works when you're split up. Hi there! Camera switching isn't the only thing we've got, we can also switch field actions. Like many things, this menu is unfinished, but we can still swap off our jump ability for our signature strikes. Blue has a vertical crush, while pink has a horizontal swing. These weapon attacks can break boxes and trigger other field mechanics. If you're in front of something interactable though, you can instead talk to it. Dialogue isn't as straightforward here either. It's a handcrafted solution supporting branching paths with localization-ready string keys. There are collectibles you can find and pick up, getting added to your inventory. There is a failsafe if I accidentally set an invalid reward, so you'll always get something for your explorative exploits. Finally on the field, we have area transitions to bring you from level to level. I'd like the game to be more seamless, but I shouldn't cram everything into one scene, so... Taking our gaze off the field, we've got some back-end menus to dive into. Starting with the top-level pause menu, this serves as an entry point to our other menus. I had to refactor this system to support submenus, so internally this works like a stack. More on that later. First up, the backpack. Right now, you can see what recovery items you're carrying and their effects. The capacity for each item is planned to be capped at 20 normally, so if you can't use them right now, you can also just drop as many as you'd like. Now's a good time to mention that from any menu, you can go back one layer with the B button, or backspace, or just press the pause button to close out of all of them. Internally, it calls the top menu sleep function, then it pops off the stack, reawakening the one before it. Similarly, closing all the menus calls every sleep function and clears the stack, setting us up for a clean menu system. Alright, out of the code kitchen before you see some spaghetti. Our final stop is the equip menu. This one is recent and most robust, lots of moving parts, so stay with me. Firstly, our stat overviews. We're pulling each player's stats with equipment and setting the UI to display them. The overviews will change if a player isn't in the party. Next is the description of the selected gear slot. Here is an overview of the gear stat modifiers, the flavor text, or you can switch the text to show bonus effects unique to each item of gear. Each player can equip a weapon and cloth that will customize their look outside of the menu. Press on a given slot to change their equipment and review the changes next to their stats before making a choice. Gear is designed to be applicable regardless of progression, so even early game equipment could have a use later on. Health and vigor bonuses are relative, while attack and defense is a constant number. And that's all for what I've done so far. Not too much on the surface, but beneath there's a lot of scripting going on. Databases, singletons, plenty of frameworks for other scripts to use. Next up for the field, I'd like to handle the save system, making a title screen and options menu, and tying off the batch with quests and the rest of the movement mechanics. I recently made a blue sky and I've started even making some updates there, and I have a website where you can read more about the project amongst other things. This project is quite ambitious, I know, and I wish I could work on it more than I already do. I've been distracted with a lot of life adjustments, and I'm considering even maybe opening up a Ko-fi or Patreon for bonus support. Not sure which yet, since they've got their own trade-offs. Well, that aside, thanks for watching, and see you next update.